The Disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley. A cruise ship mystery. How does a person vanish from a cruise ship surrounded by hundreds of people, miles away from any shore? That's the haunting question behind the disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley, a young woman who boarded a ship with her family for a Caribbean vacation, never imagining it would end in one of the most perplexing mysteries in recent history. The events that unfolded over those few days in March 1998 have left her family devastated and investigators baffled. Today, let's delve into the details of Amy's story, her disappearance, the frantic search, strange sightings, and the ongoing quest for answers. Amy Lynn Bradley was 23 years old, a recent college graduate filled with excitement about her future. Described as bright, adventurous, and deeply connected to her family, Amy was also known for her love of animals and her strong personality. This Caribbean cruise was meant to be a celebration, a chance for Amy to unwind with her parents, Ron and Iva Bradley, and her younger brother, Brad. Together, they boarded the Royal Caribbean cruise ship, Rhapsody of the Seas, on March 21, 1998. The cruise was a week-long escape with stops at tropical destinations, beautiful sunsets, and all the luxuries of life on the water. The Bradleys were looking forward to creating lasting memories together. The days on board were filled with relaxation and enjoyment as they explored the ship's offerings, from live music and dining to late-night gatherings. Amy and her family were in high spirits, and by all accounts, it was an idyllic start to their vacation. But on the night of March 23rd, the atmosphere took a turn. A seemingly normal evening would set the stage for the chilling events that followed. On that fateful night, Amy and Brad headed to the ship's nightclub where they danced, mingled with other passengers, and met several crew members. According to witnesses, one particular crew member, a man named Alistair, appeared to take a special interest in Amy, engaging her in conversation and, some say, watching her closely throughout the evening. But there was no sign of trouble, and Amy and her brother stayed at the nightclub into the early morning hours. Eventually, Brad decided to head back to the cabin, leaving Amy to enjoy a little more time before she, too, called it a night. Around 5:30 a.m., Ron Bradley woke up and noticed Amy on the cabin's balcony, seemingly asleep on a lounge chair. Satisfied that she was back, he went to bed. When he awoke around 6 a.m., Amy was gone. Her bed hadn't been slept in, and there was no sign of her anywhere in the cabin. Her shoes, her ID, and most of her belongings were still in the room. The family quickly searched their quarters, hoping Amy had just gone for a morning walk or to grab coffee. But as the minutes ticked by, their worry turned to panic. Amy was nowhere to be found. Ron and Iva urgently reported her disappearance to the ship's crew, asking for an immediate search of the vessel. But the crew initially dismissed their concerns, suggesting that Amy might have slept in or had gone to another part of the ship to meet friends. Frustrated and increasingly desperate, her family pushed harder, pleading with the crew to make an announcement or secure the exits. But hours passed before a full ship search was finally launched, and by then, any crucial window of opportunity to locate Amy had closed. As the search unfolded, the ship was combed from top to bottom. Crew members checked the cabins, hallways, lifeboats, and storage areas. The family's worst fear, that she may have fallen overboard, was considered. But Amy's family immediately rejected this possibility. She was a strong swimmer, cautious by nature, and would have had no reason to be anywhere near the railings. They became convinced that something else had happened, and suspicions began to grow that Amy might have been taken. During the search, other passengers reported strange encounters from that night. Some recalled seeing Amy with the same crew member who had shown interest in her at the nightclub. Others said they'd spotted her moving through parts of the ship not typically frequented by passengers. Although these accounts were taken seriously, they only deepened the mystery. It was as if Amy had simply vanished without a trace. Theories about Amy's disappearance began to emerge, many centered on the possibility of abduction. At the time, there were increasing concerns about human trafficking rings in the Caribbean. Some speculated that Amy could have been targeted for such a ring and taken off the ship by someone she encountered on board. Although chilling, This theory provided some plausible answers as to why she may have vanished so suddenly. In the months that followed, Amy's family refused to give up. They worked tirelessly to keep her story in the public eye, reaching out to law enforcement agencies, hiring private investigators, and offering a substantial reward for any information that could lead to finding her. And then, something unexpected happened. Alleged sightings of Amy began to emerge, far from where she had disappeared. The first sighting came from a Canadian tourist in Curaçao, one of the Caribbean islands. The tourist claimed that she had seen a woman resembling Amy in a public restroom. The woman looked distressed and as if she wanted to speak, but two men escorted her out before she could approach. This account, while unverified, raised hopes that Amy might still be alive, but it led nowhere. A year later, a member of the Navy claimed to have seen a woman resembling Amy in a brothel in the Caribbean. She reportedly told him her name was Amy and asked for help. Shocked and unsure what to do, the man didn't report the encounter immediately. By the time he came forward, the trail had gone cold once again. But this sighting, along with others that trickled in over the years, painted a haunting picture of what Amy's fate might have been. These accounts suggested that she could have been forced into a life of captivity, an unimaginable reality for her family, who continued to search and hope. Amy's family has never stopped fighting for answers. They've spent years combing through leads, holding press conferences, and working with private detectives. They've appeared on news shows, advocating for increased safety measures on cruise ships and raising awareness about the potential dangers at sea. Their efforts have brought Amy's case to light, making her one of the most widely recognized missing persons in recent history. They've also highlighted a larger issue, the vulnerability of passengers on cruise ships, where jurisdictional challenges can hinder timely investigations and where proper protocols for missing persons are often lacking. As the years have passed, the mystery of Amy Lynn Bradley has only deepened. Her case remains one of the most haunting unsolved disappearances from a cruise ship. It's a stark reminder of how life can change in an instant, and how even in the most beautiful, carefree settings, dark realities can lurk. Her story continues to serve as a cautionary tale, one that has raised awareness of safety measures on cruises and inspired families to be vigilant in unfamiliar places. For the Bradley family, hope remains. They still ask themselves every day, what happened to Amy? Where could she be? With each year that goes by, they hold on to the possibility that someday they'll have answers. Perhaps someone somewhere holds a clue, a memory, a piece of information that could bring Amy back. Amy Lynn Bradley's story is one that lives on even in her absence. It's a story that speaks to the strength of family, the determination to seek justice, and the courage to confront the unknown. Her disappearance continues to haunt those who hear it, leaving behind unanswered questions and a family who will never stop searching.